Welcome, family. It's time for another epic experience. We're reaching the world with Bible, prayer, generosity, and community. At Epic, we value empowerment, philanthropy, innovation, and community. Join us Sundays at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time with Pastor Jay and Lady Sky and the Epic Family Worship Church of New Orleans.
This is the day or the evening that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Welcome to all of my Epic family and friends of Epic Church tonight. I'm excited because all month long in the month of September, it is Ladies' Month. Oh, it is Ladies' Night. And the feel is right. Oh, yes, it's Ladies' Night. Oh, what a night. All right, ladies, this night is just for you. It has been prepared by our one, our only, the precious jewel, Lady Sky, beautiful, my wife. She's going to come forth and lead us right now. And I want to challenge you all to get a notebook and get a pen. Begin to write down what the Holy Spirit may speak to you tonight. It's going to be a great night. Join us at 8:30 right after this. At 8:30, join us on the prayer line. If something you want to pray about, we're taking specific prayer requests. We're praying for our country and we're praying for our culture. All right, let's get ready. Let's jump in. Let's go. Welcome, Lady Sky.
Good evening, families and friends. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are so happy that you guys are here with us. Hey, as Pastor James said, it's Ladies' Night. I know right where you are. I need y'all to go ahead and type that in. I see you guys are coming in. Make sure that you're liking, that you're sharing, and you're letting everybody know that we are on the line. Listen, it's Ladies' Night, and I'm feeling really good because I got my ladies that's about to join me in just a moment. But look, I just want to give you guys a quick shout out. Again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here, and we appreciate each of you for sharing this, for liking this, and we're ready to go. We got everybody already starting to join us on the line, and we really appreciate you guys for being here. Hey, Mother Carlos, thank you so much for joining us for Ladies' Night. Thank you. We love you. We love you. We love you. And again, you guys, listen, as Pastor James said, on tonight, right after this at 8:30 p.m., we will be on the prayer line, and we're going to be doing a special prayer for each of you that need it. Listen, last week we decided to implement this as a part of Ladies' Night. And y'all, we had about 15 women that joined us on the prayer line at 8:30 p.m. Central right after this because they just had things that they wanted to pray about. As you guys know, as women, we carry so much. I mean, we carry a lot of things. And so we want to let you guys know that we support you, that you're not in this alone, that we're here for you. And if you want to join us, it's right there on the screen. You can see it. It's scrolling at the bottom. You can join us. And we're going to be praying about your special needs. We're going to be there for you guys. So join us, all right? So, all right, let's see who is with us again. A big shout out to Mother Carlos. I love you. Sister Pam, hey, thank you for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. And Sister Shanique, we love you so much. It's Ladies' Night, y'all. I know y'all are ready to get into it. I know I am. We are talking about virtuous women, okay? Proverbs 31, we're focusing on it the entire month. And what are some of the things that we've been learning? You guys know we've been learning that the word virtuous in its original context in scripture, it just basically says a woman with an excellent spirit. With an excellent spirit. They operate with a spirit of excellence in everything that they do. They're a woman of strength. They're a woman with capacity. We're not talking about just capacity, not, oh, I'm a boss babe, so I can do everything. No, no, no. We're talking about the woman that knows how to tap into the things of God because you know that's where your strength comes from. You know that's where your help comes from. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. And I want to establish something really quick, all right? Ladies, who learned, just like me growing up, that when they talked about the virtuous woman, it was a married woman. It was a married woman, right? I kind of remember learning it that way. But we've discovered as we've studied scripture and studied Proverbs 31 that the virtuous woman is not just a married woman. There is 3 times that you can find this word virtuous in scripture. We were able to find it, of course, in Proverbs 31 and verse 10. It talks about who can find a virtuous woman. Who can find her? Because when you find her, she is far above rubies. She's far above anything of value that you can find here on this earth. The second time you can find it is in Proverbs chapter 12, verse 14. It says that a virtuous woman is a crown upon her husband's head. Now, you guys know that the opposite of that is like, she's like arthritis in his knee, arthritis in his back. She's either going to be a pain to him, or she is going to be a crown, something that he can strut, he can show off, right? He can be happy that he has that. It also can be found in the book of Ruth, and Ruth is a perfect example of a virtuous woman. And that's where I want to establish tonight, because Ruth, at one point, Ruth was a widow, Ruth was single, Ruth was engaged, and Ruth got married. So we're able to know that you don't have to be married to be a virtuous woman. You could be at any stage of life. Well, y'all, is it okay if I bring my friends on? We're going to talk tonight. We got this panel going on, and I'm really happy. So tonight, I want to introduce to you none other than my wonderful and beautiful friend. Her name is Alicia Wilson. She is a mother of three. She's a wife, and she's also an entrepreneur. Her business is called A Plus Management. And you can visit that at aplusmanagement.com. The motto of her business is leveraging your time so that you can focus on your higher priorities. A Plus Management is an established business that provides administrative and project management services to help her clientele focus on the higher priorities in their life. And what I love about her business is she honors women in all stages of life. You could be an at-home mom and you just need some help organizing that closet. You could be a brand new business. You can be someone that just graduated college. You just got an idea. She can help bring that into fruition. Or you could be an established business and you just got so much on your plate. You need help. You need Alicia Wilson at A Plus Management. So I'm going to bring her on. Hey, Alicia, how are you, my friend?
Good. How are you? Good.
Man, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Listen, I want you to just talk to the people real quick.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. I am humbled, and I'm excited to have some girl talk. This work at home mommy of three is excited to talk to all the ladies that you've invited on this call about some real stuff that we go through, and answer some questions that we may not typically talk about in public.
Well, I see you got some friends on the line, girl. People are like, yeah, she's awesome. We love her. And I'm so glad that you are with us tonight too. And I feel you on that. Mommy of two, with at home with the kids, it feels good to always have this time with the girls. Yeah. Well, you guys, every single week, last week we had Pastor Elizabeth Hughley. She was on the line. She was like our resident guru, of wisdom. So every week I always try to have that. And this week we have none other than Pastor BJ. She is our resident guru of wisdom. Pastor BJ is the founder of Titus 2 Women's Ministry. You can find her every Sunday right here on Facebook Live on her Titus 2 Ministry page at 5:30 p.m. Central. She is the mother of 5 children, the grandmother of 10 kids. She's a widow, and she takes pride that she's growing gracefully as she ages. Hey, can you guys put some clap emojis up as we welcome Pastor BJ to the line? Hey, Pastor BJ.
Hey, good evening. Good evening to one and all. Just so happy to be in your presence tonight. It just does my heart good to see, the favor of God that is on you guys' life, and how we can just get here and just have some fun tonight. I like that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Pastor BJ, for joining us. And last but not least, y'all, we got, this last guest coming on. I just love her. We've become such great friends, and I had to include her on tonight's live, and I'm going to tell y'all why. This is none other than Drea Marie. She is the mother of a high school senior, Tyrese. She is single and she is an entrepreneur. Drea is an award-winning gospel artist. Hey, you guys can, as soon as we're done with this, I want y'all to go to Pandora, and I want y'all to go and get her Pandora station, okay? And you can pick up any of her products. We're going to show you guys where you can grab all of her products. You'll be blessed by them. But right now, you can catch her live every day, Monday through Friday, on Facebook Live on her artist page, and where she's going to give you morning devotions read from her book, Command Your Day on Purpose. I got that right here. Command Your Day on Purpose. And so you guys can get that daily inspiration right there. You can book her. You can buy any of her t-shirts. You can purchase her book. You can purchase her CD. And we're going to bring Drea on as she lives her life on purpose. Drea.
Hey.
What's up, Drea? Look, we want you to talk to the people real quick.
Girl, you make me sound good, huh? Come on. To God be the glory. I'm excited to be here tonight. Of course, like Lady Sky just said, you can find anything concerning Drea Marie online. Your all media outlets, wherever you purchase your music, you can get my music. Yes, I'm the mother of a 17-year-old high school kid, Tyrese, and he's just such an awesome kid. I just released my book, Command Your Day on Purpose. It's a 30-day prayer devotional. I'm super excited about that, and I'm actually reading that daily, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. on my music page. So you can follow that at I am Drea Marie, and we just talk for about 7 minutes, and we command your day. We pray, read a little scripture, and then we're out of there. So thank you for having me, Lady Sky. I'm a little nervous because yes, I am single, and she got me on this Zoom tonight, but I'm gonna do my best. We gonna talk about it. Maybe I could find a man after this, huh?
Hey, look, we don't discriminate, okay? I didn't say it was ladies only. Look, you might have a man watching right now. Listen, y'all need to
Child.
have some men on this video anyway, because a lot of times the men need to understand what women,
Okay.
they need to gain some understanding. They got to watch this
Yes.
type of stuff to gain some understanding,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
All right,
Exactly.
ladies, so really quick. All right. I want you, Alicia, I want you to start. Can you tell us, okay, our topic tonight is single or married. Are you really wife material? Okay. I think it's important to talk about this because I don't know about y'all, but I personally know some women who are married that, they not really committed to the married life. And then
Oh.
I know some women who are single who it's like you literally ask yourself, why are you single? Because they are like such the wifey material. And so I wanted you to kind of talk about that really quick. Like, what is your concept of a wife? And tell us really quick, like how you even got to that spot. How did you get to that?
I don't know that I personally have a concept or that I personally can say I have a definition for what makes somebody wifey material and what doesn't make someone wifey material. But what I can say is if it's something that you desire, some of the attributes that you need to have, you have to be willing to compromise. You have to be willing to humble yourself. You have to be willing to listen to your partner and listen to somebody else's opinions, their likes, their wants. You have to be able to put yourself to the side. And that's hard for any individual to do. But if marriage is definitely something that you want, those are some of the things that I would say someone should work towards having or being open to before they seek marriage. I think a lot of times when we're single, we don't have to worry about anybody else. We don't have to worry about anybody else's opinions. It's our house. We put our furniture the way we want. We set up our own morning routines. You don't have to worry about anybody else. But when you're married, you got another person walking right next to you, and you have to consider them. You have to consider them. You can't just uplift yourself and do what you want to do.
Ooh, girl, you said a mouthful. It's just so true, though. So much of it, so much of what you said was true. Before I wrote down a couple of things I want to bring out from what you said, but really quick, Drea, let me hear from you really quick. did you grow up saying I want to be a wife? Like, did you always feel like that you wanted to be a wife, even though right now you're single? And let me just throw this out there: I'm married. Alicia is married. Drea is single. Pastor BJ is single. She is widowed, and she's also divorced. And so we have women who just have gone through a gamut of different things. Okay, so let's just kind of talk about that, because let me just tell y'all this real quick. We're not just going to be talking about men. Look, I kind of watched the video last night, and I was like, after a while, I got really disinterested because the ladies were just talking about men. And I'm like, look, it's like Alicia said, you got to look at yourself. If you're not willing to take a moment and look at yourself, then you're definitely not ready for that path of marriage, or even seriously dating. So let me ask you that, Drea, as a single woman on the panel, which of course you've never been married, but again, Pastor BJ's single, but she has been married before. Did you grow up saying, "Oh, I want to be a wife"? And if so, like, where did that come from? Like, where did that concept come from for you?
I knew that I always wanted a family. I think every little girl at some point wants to be a wife, starting with the Disney Channel. Everybody wants to be this beautiful princess walking down the aisle, getting her king. So I truly think, I personally think it's embedded in us that we're supposed to be this little princess, and we're supposed to have all these bridesmaids and the beautiful flower girl, and we just walking through with the biggest ring on and the crown. So I've always wanted a family. I grew up number 7 of 9, and so I've always had just that family environment. So my answer is, yeah, I always wanted to be a wife, and getting older, of course, wanting that companionship, of course, it just, became more real. So the answer is yes.
Okay. Let me ask Pastor BJ. Pastor BJ, from your perspective, did you also growing up, because you grew up in a different time, like in, I think, the 60s, I think 60s and the 70s, as Drea was saying, I think, right, coming out of the 50s, because the 50s was really big on just being like at home. They used to have commercials and everything of just like being, at home baking, and, like that's what you were to do. Growing up in the 60s and the 70s, how was your mentality shaped, I guess, and saying, okay, I think I want to do this, maybe possibly be a wife?
Well, Lady Sky, irregardless of the time or the years, some things don't change. And I think that God always puts in us a desire to nurture. When we nurture, that means, yeah, we do want to be a mommy. We do want to do the things that we think about, just like Drea said, the uh, steam on the windows and the white picket fence and the princess. And yeah, I think we have proclivity toward that as females. We want to do that. And coming up in this, because I was born in the 50s, came up in the 60s and the 70s. And even though, we had the uh, feminist movement, which was like really super strong then. Women were burning their bras and, telling men where to get off and get out of my life and things of this nature. There's still a remnant of women that really, really have a propensity toward nurturing and loving. Amen. So, and that was me. Okay. I had one brother, but there was a 12-year difference between us. And before my mom transitioned to heaven, she was always telling me, "You always used to want to be somebody's mother. That's all you've ever wanted to be." And she was right. I have I have interaction in ministry, uh, education, things like that. But really, all I've ever wanted to be is somebody's mommy. and God gave me my desire. Amen. He gave me in Ephesians 3:20, man. Pressed down, shaking together, running over. Yeah, he did that.
So
Amen.
let me
And
say this, ladies. I think this is so
have
interesting. And Pastor BJ, if you can do me a favor, I want you to kind of move your camera down a little bit because from where I am, I can't. Your face is kind of covered by your name. So maybe if you can scoot over a little bit, just so we could get a good picture of you. But really quick, ladies, I want to get into these topics, but I want to say this really quick. I find it very interesting that the topic tonight is being a wife, but all of us have, most of us, or you all have connected that to being a mother. I think that is so interesting that we've connected being a wife to being a mother. Do you think that that comes from just the Christian community and the Christian mindset that, you know, like it says, first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes the baby carriage? Because as we've been talking about, even in these few minutes of being a wife, all of you guys have talked about, I always wanted to have a family. I always want to have kids. I always wanted. So it's like, okay, because the reality is, y'all, we're in 2020, and it's like first
So
comes love, then comes children, then comes marriage. I
can I
mean,
just
tell me.
say, in some sense, the commitment is almost the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me,
Okay.
because I'm a single woman, I feel that my child comes first. There's nothing besides God, of course, that comes before him. I need to make sure he gets fed. I need to make sure his clothes is set out for school. I need to make sure his needs are met. I need to make sure he doesn't, see as a single woman different men in and out of the house, yada yada yada. And on the married side, my thoughts, because again, I'm a single woman, but everything Alicia said, I feel that I know how to do. Be committed. Make sure my husband comes first. Be loyal. Know how to communicate, know how to listen, know how to compromise, all of those things. And all of that, even the compromising part, when teaching, say, for example, I have one child, so he was born a twin. I know that was important for you, Lady Scott, for me to say. uh, but for me, I feel that we kind of raised each other. So when I use the word compromise, I'm using, when it comes to my child, I'm using it in a sense of um, things that I don't get it right on. I'm willing to, hear him as a person and not just a child, and learn his point of views, and kind of get on track with things. So I just feel that the the commitment is almost the same when it comes to,
Mm.
and that's maybe why we associate it.
Alicia?
So I kind of just wanted to play devil's advocate, if I can, Lady Sky. So like everybody's marriage looks different. What about the wives who don't cater to their husband? What about the wives who don't take out his clothes and make sure his clothes are washed and, make sure there's hot dinner waiting for him? Are we saying that marriage should look a certain way, or are we saying that these are the things that were kind of inputted into us when we were children?
Well, so y'all, this is already so good. I feel like I gotta have another one. I gotta have another one with just specifically with this topic. So I think that's such a good point that you're making, Alicia, because it's so true. The topic I want to talk about is us women. I want to talk about what it is that what it is that we say that causes us to be that virtuous woman that makes us worthy of being a wife. So, for example, when I look at Proverbs 31 and we look at verse 10, and they say that a virtuous woman is far above rubies and her value is so high. And you ask the question, well, why? Well, when you go down to the next few verses, it talks about how it gives you a definition or it gives you attributes. It says, one aspect it says is that woman gets up early in the morning, gets herself together, gets the thoughts of her day together, and she prepares. Preparation is an attribute for this woman. I feel like that's what Drea was talking about. It talks about this woman knows how to be an entrepreneur. She takes, specifically, it says that she can take fabric and she can make things and prepare things for her family. So it says that she's smart and that she's an entrepreneur. And so let's talk about those characteristics and attributes. So let's say, okay, cool. I say to myself, okay, I'm already married. I'm married. Okay, let's say that I am already married. So, and let's say I don't want to get up early in the morning. I don't want to. I already told Drea. I'm like, Drea, 7 a.m. You want me on Facebook at 7 a.m. and day? Maybe I'm illiterate. I can read a page myself. You hear me? You want me to be on YouTube at 7? No, I'm kidding. I'm up early. Y'all know. Those that really know me, I get up early every day, 6 o'clock, 6:30 every day. But so I don't feel like getting up. I don't feel like getting up. I don't feel like preparing. I don't feel like doing none of that. Okay, I don't want to. Somebody tell me from your perspective, like, okay, how is that going to affect me as a woman and how I'm developing myself? Because what I like about what you said, Dre, and I'm being honest with you, said you're single, but you have your children. And the big part of that is the commitment and how you have to basically develop yourself, and even how having your son is literally preparing you even for that, So my thing is it that we don't want to grow? Is it that we don't, is it that if we just stay the way that we are and we live the life that we feel like we want to live and we don't want to grow in those specific areas, will we be women that will actually be able to take care of those things even in our lives? Because we're talking about, are we really wifey material? But I guess it has to start with just yourself. How can I be committed to a man if I can't be committed to myself? How can I make promises to people when I don't even keep promises to myself? So, I mean, that's what I'm just trying to figure this out about developing ourselves. I mean, somebody kind of talked to me about that, because as we all know, when you get to that point of becoming a wife or saying like, ooh, that wifey material, like you said, Pastor BJ, it's not really just about time or age, but it's just something that's inside of us. We have this innate thing to just want to be loved and accepted. Yeah. And sometimes marriage is where sometimes you can manifest that, right? But the thing is before you get to that point, it's like, what are some of the things that you guys think that we need to do as women to develop ourselves? Because we always talk about what the man needs to do. Actually, somebody commented that just a few minutes ago, and I'm gonna put it up again, talking about men want a mother kind of wife anyway. They want a wife that's like a mama.
I find that to be so true, though.
They want that nurturing aspect, just like our children need, like Drea was saying.
Yep. But you know what? God created us as nurturers, so he knew they were going to need that in a helpmate. All of that is a part of being their helpmate. Because I know, okay, to the fellas that's on there watching, forgive me if you feel like this is a lot, but y'all are needy. And y'all know y'all can't do nothing without us. So we have to. So it is the truth. We have to. Y'all, if we didn't tell y'all what to eat, y'all wouldn't know what to eat. Y'all would eat burgers and pizza all day. So so well we have to come up with a nice healthy menu for you every now and then. We gotta stroke your ego. Let's just keep it real. We gotta stroke your ego. We gotta do so. I really do feel like, of course, for me, being a single mom, and I always say, once he go off to college, that's when my husband gonna be able to find me, because I'm too focused on making sure he's good and he's, preparing for his wife and this, that, and the other. Because, like I tell people all the time, and I may be going off just a little bit, like I've taught him how to cook, I've taught him how to clean up behind himself, how to wash clothes, and how to, he knows how to take out the trash. All of these things that as mothers have instilled. Uh, I don't even know where I'm going with this. All these things that we've
You know what?
instilled in our children, it's like, think about it. Once they're men, so now, and we taught them, like, for example, my son has to be the quote unquote man of the house, and he's in protection mode, right? So when he becomes a man, everything your mama done taught you, you're applying it. That's where I was going. Thank you, Holy Ghost. You're applying it in your relationship and in your marriage. So you're used to that nurturing love of a mother. So I think it just comes naturally that that's what they unconsciously look for.
So what I think the way that what you're saying relates is like, as women, are we wifey material? So as women, are we reflecting even to our children, and even to the men that we're interacting with? Are we reflecting those types of attributes? We just had someone here that says, but they don't want to raise those type of sons that need a mama figure because it's not fair to the wives. That's what she just said. I'm a firm believer that, no matter what you do in life, it's a mirror, it's a reflection. So a lot of times, if you're in a space where you're getting some great energy and it's like, wow, this is amazing, it's more than likely you're probably putting out just as much excellent energy as you're getting back. So a lot of times it's like that reflection. So that's what I see in what you're saying, Drea, is being able to have to reflect that. So truth is that's who you really are. And that's really what I want to get down to, because it's like, you can only fake for so long. And if you're going to see who you really are, a lot of times it shows in your kids.
Yeah.
It shows in your kids,
Yeah.
Alicia, Pastor BJ, I want y'all to jump in there. I feel like, Alicia, you're about to say something about raising sons that
I was gonna say for my son, for me in my marriage, it's about him seeing what a loving wife looks like. It's about him seeing, if daddy and I have a disagreement, how do we come back together, right? Because unfortunately, not everything happens behind closed doors. And like you said, Kim, kids are a reflection of you. They learn how to problem solve. They learn how to forgive. They learn how to love. They learn how to do all of that based on what's happening in your household. And whether or not, like, a man needs a motherly type, he may not necessarily need a motherly type, right? He may know how to iron, cook for himself, do all of those things. But we're their backbones, right? Like, we're there to hold up their arms and to help support them in certain aspects of life. And there is a certain way that we need to carry ourselves. And there are certain things that we should do for them. So it's important that our kids and our families see those dynamics.
Yes, I agree with that totally. Jessica Covington said that what we need to do is we need to heal those broken places and strengthen our relationship with God and understand who we are and what we need. And you know what? I agree with Jessica, because when we ask that question, okay, are we truly wifey material? The real question there is, like all of you have said, but the real question is, how about substituting the word wife with all of the I guess character qualities that are needed to even hold that position, right? So let's just take a couple of seconds, and I want you guys to throw out a one-word answer of qualities needed to hold that position. You started it a minute ago, Alicia. I'm going to say one word that you have already said, Alicia. You said you have to be able to compromise. Okay, somebody else. compromise, listen,
Patient.
patient,
Patient.
Compassionate.
compassionate.
Introspective. It's a big word.
Yes.
That's so good. Introspective. Yes.
Forgiving.
Forgiving. Yes. I'm going to say kind.
Understanding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Understanding.
I think humility plays a part as
Humble. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Humility, humble.
humility.
So good.
Mhm.
What else? Really quick. What else?
Is God seeking one word? Can I? God
Yeah.
seek.
We'll put it together for the sake
You
of.
definitely need to know how to communicate. I don't know if we said that one.
That's good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Know
Okay.
how to
So now,
listen.
yes, I said that a minute ago. I said listening. The listening.
Okay.
So how about this though? Look at this. So the question really isn't just am I wifey material? All right, y'all ready? And then our audience that's listening, the question really is, and you have to substitute the word wifey or wife with the attributes and the characteristics needed, right? So now this is what we're saying. Am I really understanding? Am I really patient? Am I really forgiving? Am I really a listener? Am I really kind? Am I really humble? Am I really compassionate? Am I really introspective? Listen, y'all could just say ouch, okay? It's fine. It's fine. You don't got to tell on yourself, but you know what I'm saying? Can I really communicate? Am I really God speaking? Right? So the reason I wanted to do that is because I don't want us to just get hung up on and just say, oh, it's just, the men, and it's so true. But the thing is the only way that we're going to reflect those things is those things really got to be who we are on the inside. It's really
Yeah.
got to be who we really are.
Yeah.
Let me say this real quick. Janice said we have to look at the woman in the mirror and love ourselves fully and take care of ourselves too, not just
That's
taking
my
care
sis.
of everybody else. Is
That's
that
my
true?
sis. Hey, Trinice.
Hey,
Yeah.
yes, Janice said that. And so, Pastor BJ, tell me, man, is this true? Like, do we really have to be those things in order for us to walk into these types of responsibilities in our life? Give us a little wisdom on that.
Well, one thing I can say is that when you're in a relationship, you have to be whole first. A piece of man and a piece of woman, uh, that's not a whole relationship. I love the way it's been said how we must take a look at the lady in the mirror, because when God made us, He made us whole, completely whole. Now we can enhance a man, and sometimes there'll be areas in his life where we need to help bring him to wholeness, as is for us. However, the best case scenario is that we are whole at the onset. We can love,
Amen.
we can live, we can laugh, we have a sense of humor. We can laugh at our own mistakes, uh, and things of that nature. That really helps make for a good relationship. Communication, just like everything Drea said. But I think the thing I want to push the most is to say we have to strive to be whole individually. You know, it's just better if you, of course, you'll have proclivities, little weaknesses and things, but let's strive to just be whole. In Jesus, He can do that for us. He knows
Yeah.
what we need even before we ask Him. So I think that
Yeah,
wholeness is a good thing. I think.
I've been seeing the t-shirts where people say you can love Jesus and therapy, where you can get a
That's
therapist and
right.
you can really deal with those issues. You can really deal with those
That's right.
issues that are on the inside and be able to, before you walk into that responsibility as women, being able to just kind of face those issues and face those fears. Jessica said this. Jessica said that marriage requires unconditional love and forgiveness, whether they're a mama's boy or not. Before you get married, you'll be able to see if that's present. Marriage should be a reflection of how Christ loves the church and us. And I'm definitely going to agree with that. I've been married now, I think going on 7 years. I think right about 7 years, I think going on 7. And one thing that I can say about marriage for me right now, in the sense of quote unquote being wife material, I thought that I was a lot further along than what I really am. So it's like, oh, I'm a wife. I know I can do this. I can handle this. And then as soon as I get in it, I realize, oh my goodness, like I got to cook every day. Like, you feel what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I really have to avail myself in this way to this person, or I really have to open myself up and really live a life of vulnerability. I have to be transparent, with this person, because there's no hiding. Like, okay, ladies, y'all know that we do this, right? When the man comes to you and says, is everything okay? Is everything okay? Everything is horrible if she looks at you and says, right, I'm fine.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yep. I'm all right.
We good.
Y'all know I'm lying. Y'all know I'm not lying. But she turns around and looks at you and says,
You are not.
Everything's fine. I'm good. Watch out now. But what I learned was, right, in a marriage or in a place of responsibility like that don't work for long, because you can't just say I'm good and then the person goes home to their house and then you're home and it's like they ain't gonna bother you, and they might call you and check on you, but other than that. But no, when you're in this situation, it's like they're around you, like they're catching your vibe, they looking at your face. They seeing that you eating, your emotions, like all that. And so I just, I feel like that it's important for us to understand that if we want to take on those types of responsibilities in our life, that we definitely have to work on ourselves. I mean, what do you think, Alicia? I mean, in your opinion? I
really want to, I agree with you. I would say my thing was, I had no problem with the cooking and the cleaning and the outwardly acts of being married, but it was that inwardly stuff that God had to check me on in my marriage. The stuff that you don't see unless you're living with somebody else when they bring it out in you. So like Pastor BJ was talking about being whole before you get married. Can I give hope to the people who aren't whole when they get married and have to work on it in their marriage? Because it happens like that. Sometimes you think you're ready and you just don't know until you actually are married what you need to work on and the stuff that's inside of you.
Ooh, that is so true, because I always say that the longest and the longest conversation and even the most influential conversation you'll have in your life is the one that you have with yourself. And I can honestly say that in marriage, like you said, Alicia, it's like you begin to actually see who you are inside. It's almost like you have a whole conversation happening here, and then it's like that's out here. Because I ain't gonna lie, can I just be honest with y'all? I never was like a person, because it's just the way that I grew up. I never was like a person that would like cuss you out. That's not me, right? But I'm gonna tell you right now, when I got married, I think I cussed out my husband once or twice in my mind. Once or twice in my mind. And that's where what Alicia is saying is so true, because it's just like this young lady said here. A young lady just gave a comment that said that you have to be a lady on the inside in order for it to actually show up on the outside. And like I said, I thought I was a lot further along than what I really was. And I just want to be honest with the people who are watching us, because, you know, don't think that you, just because you get the ring, that you ready and that you got it, and that you don't have any more growth. Actually, I feel like once you actually get into that space, your growth is going to go leaps and bounds.
Exactly.
That's when it starts. That's when it starts. Pastor BJ, you were married for 35 years. Wow. Talk to us about that. Like 35 years of marriage. I mean, talk to us about your personal growth in that time.
You know what? Thank you, Lady Sky. You know, I made reference to the fact that it's a great idea for you to be whole when you get started. I was not. Okay, I was not. Looking at stuff retrospectively, no, I learned as I grew. I was young. I was wet behind the ears. I was filled with so many expectations, you know, and for a long time in my relationships, it was not us, it was me. It was not they, it was I. I had to grow there, you know.
Yeah.
But I love my kids, God children. And I tell you, I'm grateful to God for that. But I learned so much. And let me tell you, I did not start out whole. I did not. I was looking for affirmation, you know, and I want to just put that out there for women that are not they got the wrong idea. You don't need to look for affirmation and then get married. You need to let God affirm you yourself, and then let him show you who you need to hook up with, you know, for a good covenant relationship. But in the 35 years of my marital life, it wasn't always good, but it wasn't always bad. And I'll tell that there is no shame to my game. God has been so faithful, amen, to the things that I've learned while being in this position. And there was a time, you know, when I thought that I should have been a little bit farther along than I thought I was. But, you know, I'm telling you, Lady Sky, God graced me through all that, through all the condemnation, through all the, you should be better than this, BJ. You should know how to pull it together now. You're married, you got these children. But when I really experienced the grace of God in a real way, you know, number one, you learn how to stop being so hard on yourself, and you develop a sense of humor too. And the Spirit of God will really show you some things.
Trying.
So I'm grateful for where I am today. I'm grateful. I'm a happy widow. I'm grateful for where I am today. Amen. God put people in my lives for a reason and for a season, and I'm happy. A happy widow.
I want to go to a few of these comments, guys. These comments said, "Be okay, dear ones, with working to remain true to seeking your best self, even in the crappy seasons." That's so good. The next comment says, "Girl, when I got married, it brought out the deep things in me that needed to be healed." That's good. It's so true. This one says, "I held some hurtful things in that happened to me in the past, and it definitely put a strain on the marriage until I came out and told him. And then from there, he understood. Yeah. These are just some great, first of all, let me just give a quick shout out to all of the people who are watching tonight, because you guys are like, from a conversational standpoint, you guys are going in. Like, I'm trying to keep up with you guys in the comment section. But really quick, I'm going to open up because I'm going to start transitioning a little bit in our conversation, but I do want to open up for some questions, and I want you guys to start putting those questions in there because I am going to allow us to answer these questions. Again, Alicia Wilson, Drea Marie, Pastor BJ, thank y'all so much for being a part. And of course, we're going to open up the line for them to be able to ask their questions in just a second. I want to ask really quick, Pastor BJ, I just want to say this to you really quick. I really appreciate that moment of transparency because I think a lot of times we're as women, in society, we're always told that we're supposed to just have it together. And can I be specific, even a lot of times with African American women, the level of strength that sometimes we have to display, it's not always healthy. And so I want to be able to ask you guys the question, what do you guys, let's see, how can I say this? How do you guys, what advice can you give the women that are watching who might not have an outlet or someone to talk to or someone that they can go to? We talk about wife. Some people don't grow up with examples of virtuous women. They grew up in households where people were doing drugs, having lots of sex, drinking. These were the examples that were in their environment. So this is just who they have become. What advice, Drea, I want you to answer this. What advice would you give women who are trying to take on this type of responsibility in their life as a woman that wants to be married, but even before marriage comes into place, even before being a wife, like what kind of advice would you give to these women who may not come from the best example, but they really are trying to get to that spot?
One thing I have learned in that aspect is to stop giving all of me to the wrong man so that I can make sure that when the right man comes along, I have something to give because as a
Speak,
single woman,
Drea.
as a single woman, that's draining. And like I said at the beginning, we all, as a kid, have this fairy tale in our head when it comes to what we want. And, this dream wedding, this dream marriage, the perfect, Um, so the advice I definitely would give. Oh, and that's not real. That's where I was going with that. All that fairy tale stuff. But I would say stop giving your all to the wrong man. The right man is out there. I still believe. Even for me, I am doing a wedding this Saturday for a 74-year-old woman and her 80-year-old husband. I told them, y'all giving me hope, honey. I'm 35 years old, 35 or 36, Lord help. And I'm like, where he at, Jesus? But I feel like in this season of my life, I'm more prepared than I may have been 3 years ago in my life because of giving my all to the wrong man. So that's the advice I could give. Don't and
Yeah,
because that definitely plays a part in us being this whole person that we want to be. We break ourselves by allowing the wrong men to get all of us.
yeah. Woo, Lord have mercy. Pastor BJ, Alicia, what has your experience been in that? Having been married, because now we're talking to a single woman, that was her advice. Now, if you were to listen to her and take that advice, how would you apply that, Alicia, to what she said, to getting to that point? Because she said, stop giving your all to the wrong man. Because it's draining and it doesn't really prepare you for what's to come. Would you agree with that statement? And if so, how have you experienced that? And if so, what would you say? How did it help or take away from your when you did get to that wife state?
Well, yeah, I definitely would agree. I think we as women should stop giving our energy to the wrong anything before we get married. And just backing off of what everybody has says, it's just so important to know yourself, so important to be grounded in your own beliefs, so important to be true to who you are before you get married. And that means not giving your energy to things that don't deserve it. That means not doing things for men that don't deserve it. And again, like I'm still working on being whole. You know what I mean? Like I was not at it when I got married. These are things that I learned once I got in it. It's important to stay true to who you are. Listen
Yes.
to those still small voices.
Listen. It's just so true. Everything you said is so true. I can honestly say that for myself, giving myself to the wrong men, and like you said, to the wrong anything that doesn't really serve my life. Um, like you said, Drea, it really does. First of all, in my opinion, one of the first things it does is it kind of takes away your ability to have what I call a good picker. And what that means is it's like you kind of give yourself to so much to where it's like your ability to hone in on what's really good for you, it kind of disseminates a little bit. And that's why it's so important as you're going through the process of becoming whole that you almost have to cut everything off so that you can kind of reground yourself and re-anchor yourself. I don't know about you guys, but I know once I had like a major breakup, I was single for like 5, 6 years before I met Pastor James. I had to go through a season of singleness to be able to regain all of those parts of myself back. My ability to recognize what's really good for me, you know, my ability to recognize what I really feel like I might need and what's for me. Because I thought I did that before. I mean, has anybody ever been there before? I thought I already did that. I thought when I got into that relationship that I was with the right person, was in the best situation for me. And not only that, I thought I was okay, not being able to recognize those different things. And so let me get to some of these comments for a second. We're going to get to some of these questions, but right before we get to these questions, I want to play something. And I want to play basically a sample of Drea Marie's song On Purpose.
I knew it.
I just want to kind of take a break just really quick because I want you guys to hear Drea Marie's song On Purpose. I got to pull it up real quick so that you guys can hear it. We play this at the church. We play this at the house.
Woo.
All right, so I just wanted y'all to give a little sample of Drea Marie's.
Woo, thank you.
I want you guys to go over to Pandora, and I want you to join the
Nice.
Drea Marie station. That's
iTunes, Google Play, available everywhere. iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, wherever you get your music, YouTube. Go ahead, stream it, y'all.
Yes. All right, guys. So we're getting ready to close up, and we're getting ready to close in just a minute. But I wanted to kind of get to some of these questions before we get to our gaming portion. I'm going to play a little game with you guys at the very end, but really quick, let's see. I've got a few questions here. Make sure that I don't miss anybody. This question is from Jessica Covington. She says, "What's something that you wish someone told you when you were single? What's it like dating as a Christian in quarantine?" So,
Lord, it doesn't exist.
so the first question is going to be geared toward Alicia and Pastor BJ. What's something that someone told you? What's something you wish someone told you when you were single? And then Drea, we'll let you answer that second question. What's it like dating as a Christian in quarantine? So let's go with the first one. Alicia, Pastor BJ, what do you wish someone told you when you were single?
Go ahead, Pastor BJ.
Take your time.
Wow.
Take your time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else? That's good.
Yeah.
Take your time. What are you rushing for? That's really good. Okay.
Yep.
Alicia?
I'm saying that take your time. You know, we get all these ideas of what we ought to be or what we should be doing. I should be better alone. Take your time. You know, you don't have to give anybody, you know, you can refrain sexually, you can refrain emotionally, just take your time. Just take your time. That's all. That's all. Just take your time and love yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm good.
Take your time. Okay. That's so true. Drea, what's it like dating in quarantine?
TYT.
Non-existent. Non-existent. Child, I'm not. First of all, see, here's the thing with me, and maybe this is why my husband hasn't been able to find me. Even before quarantine, I'm a homebody. And a lot of my friends tell me, you don't make yourself available. Where are they going to find you at? Sitting in the house all day. All you go is to church and to go minister where you go and minister at. So being in quarantine, I still ain't meeting nobody. So it's non-existent to answer that question. I was just getting ready to put myself out there and start trying to do stuff. But now I can't, and it's still non-existent. So
Everybody stretch your hands. Everybody stretch your hands to the camera now for Drea.
He might be where she ministers at. He might be there.
Look, I was gonna say,
Pray for me.
Lord, I pray the Tyler Perry anointing on her life where they just knock on the door.
Yeah, Lord.
Y'all know the Tyler Perry movies? They just knock on the door. You open the door, you be like, oh, that's just let them knock on the door, Lord. Let him be the cable man, Lord. Let him be the plumber, Jesus.
Oh God, no.
It's the owner. The owner's coming through. The owner is coming through.
Yeah, Lord. Yeah, Lord. Do it, Jesus. Look, like the man say, I know you can do it.
All right, so I got another question here. It says, you all spoke about the similarities between motherhood and marriage, right? So how do single women not act as a wife before that stage of life? Or is wifey material important even in singleness? So how do single women not act as a wife before that stage of life? So I want to answer that. I want to start that one where she asked the question, how do single women not act as a wife before the stage of life? So I want to just answer that question from a natural perspective. Bottom line, if first of all, women have sometimes we as women will act like a wife before we're even their girlfriend. Okay? Because a lot of times
True.
women will commit to a man, and that man has never said, "Will you be my girlfriend?" They've never asked you to actually to be in a committed relationship. I have ministered to so many women that go through that just because they've been dealing with this guy for a whole year, but the guy ends up with another girl and they're completely crushed. The first question I ask is, did he ever ask you to be his girl? What happens is they assume the position, right? And so how does a single woman not act as a wife, before that stage of life? Let me just say, I'm just going to speak from a natural sense. If he's not even your boyfriend, first of all, wait till he asks you. And secondly, don't wash his clothes, don't cook his food on a consistent basis. Don't sleep over, don't do any of those types of things.
Right.
Reserve those types of privileges, reserve those types of privileges for your husband. Now, if I'm honest with you, before marriage, a lot of times you will begin to cook for them. You'll begin to help them. Like, I never washed James' clothes, but I have definitely cleaned his apartment before, just like he's come over and cleaned mine, because we never lived together. We always had separate places. And so he would come over to my house and clean my house. I would be out of town, and he would come and be at my house with my dogs, and he would clean my house and take care of my animals, just do all kinds of stuff. So it's like for me. So, but that was after we had already committed to being in a relationship, right? So do not do those types of things for them unless you're actually in a committed relationship. And that's kind of where how I want to answer that first part, because it says act like a wife. A lot of times girls, they start washing clothes and cooking and cleaning and doing all the things that really are reserved for your husband. And that guy
Ouch.
ain't even asked you to be your girlfriend yet. You know what I'm saying? It's all bad. Okay, the
That's
next
putting in
part of
that
that word,
energy.
that energy, yes. It says, so is wifey material important in your singleness? And that's truthful. We could answer that biblically, but somebody talk about that. Is being wifey material? Because the scripture tells us, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. So Drea, how can you be a wife before you ever get married?
Just displaying some of those attributes that we discussed earlier. What I've learned in talking to a lot of my married friends, a man likes his home to be peaceful. So he don't want to come home to a lot of drama. Knowing how to communicate, knowing how to listen, when they're speaking, make them feel, you know, we talked about that, making them feel good about themselves. In retrospect, when they are the husband, you make them know and feel like they're the head, give them that respect. But as a single, I I did all of those things wrong. Like you were saying, I was cooking every day, I was cleaning and washing these stuff like a crazy fool, and they never asked me to be their girlfriend.
So it
So
is
yeah,
true,
don't
isn't
do
it,
none of
Drea?
that. It's true, girl. I mean, go from spending the night, which you should not be doing, to be clear. Go from spending the night to spending weekends to how you wound up in my house all these days a week, And that's just the truth. And it's like that's what I mean when I said earlier about not giving all
Yeah.
of us to the wrong man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, in some aspect you have to it's almost like you have to prove, but let's make sure we're proving it to the one that God sent and not all of these fools. So you do have to show attributes of because every man is looking for something different. So you
Yeah,
have to show those attributes to that man, that you're capable of. And that,
yeah,
and that goes both ways because sometimes we mess up proving ourselves, you know, to these men. So yeah, yes, you do have
yeah,
to show wifey ness in the
yeah.
single life.
Ladies, I just want to say I appreciate your transparency tonight. I appreciate you just being honest. And Drea, man, I really appreciate you for just even confirming that, because anytime I'm speaking to When I'm speaking to ladies or like even at events and I make that statement, I say, it's fundamental, but just make sure he asks you to be his girlfriend, Most people think that I'm really just being so basic, but
That's
it's
why I said ouch, because that was me. Because I always wanted to prove that I'm a good girlfriend or I'm a good person or I could be your wife. But then you wasn't deserving of being my husband. So
Mm.
Jesus.
Mm.
Lord have mercy, girl. You just know how to throw it out there, don't you?
I'm just saying. But yeah, I did all those things, and we gotta definitely keep them closed.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we ain't gonna talk about that because that's a whole nother hour. Well, I'm gonna have y'all come back. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm gonna have y'all come back and we're gonna talk about sex. We'll talk about
My
sex
Lord.
on another one. All right. So I'm gonna play Drea's play some music again by Drea. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring Pastor BJ back in, and I want you guys to just take these last few minutes to let me see. Let me make sure that I'm getting everybody's questions. Let's see. All right, y'all. So I think I might have gotten everybody's questions. If not, I'm going to try to go back and look at it. Um, But let me just say this really quick. First of all, thank you so much to everybody who has joined us tonight. I really appreciate you guys for joining us for Ladies Night. It has been amazing. We're getting ready to close up in just a second, but don't go anywhere because I'm going to have the ladies talk to you guys about what projects they have coming up and the things that they are doing because we want to follow them and we want to support them. Again, my name is Lady Sky, and I'm the First Lady at Epic Church. And I'm so glad that you guys decided to spend this hour with us as we talked about this subject. I so appreciate Alicia Wilson, Drea Marie, Pastor BJ for coming in and weighing in. And I took so many notes tonight, you guys. I can't wait to talk a little bit more about these virtuous women, these women who are excellent in spirit, these women who find their strength in the Lord, these women who find their capacity. They have large capacity because they know how to tap into God and they know where they have to find their strength. Tonight, we talked about children. We talked about us developing as women. We talked about men. We talked about all types of subjects. But the real question tonight was, are you wifey material? Now, this is the conclusion we came up to. The word wife or wifey, we decided to substitute that for the attributes of that particular office. And we began to say different things. You guys began to say things like maturity is required. Um, we said that communication is required. We said all these different things are required. So now I have a new question for you. And the question now tonight is ask yourself, am I mature? Am I understanding? Am I patient? Am I God seeking? Am I forgiving? Am I kind? Am I a good listener? Am I a communicator? These are the questions that you have to ask yourself because we always say that we need to, we got to have a man and we don't want to raise no man and we want our men to be this and that. But the question is, are you that? Are you that? Are you willing to look at yourself and say, I can work on me and make sure that as much pressure and expectation I have on my man, I put on myself? Because we want to be virtuous women and we want to be strong. We want to be whole. And all the things that we put our hands to, we want to prosper. So thank y'all so much for joining us. So I'm going to bring the ladies back on. As y'all can see, I'm listening to Drea Marie in the background. This is her song On Purpose. It's one of our favorites here in this house. And tonight, if it's all right with y'all, let me stand up a little bit. I got on my Living on Purpose shirt. I got on my
Yes,
Living on Purpose shirt. Look, whatever
it's
we
a
do,
whole mood.
hey, we got it. It's a whole mood. It's a whole mood. It's a whole mood. So I just appreciate you guys. Let me make these quick announcements really quick right before I bring the ladies back on. Again, I just want to say thank you so much and welcome and thank you for being with us tonight. Also, right here, if you want to join us right after this at 8:30 Central, we are going to be doing special prayer tonight. We implemented this last week, y'all, and it was phenomenal. We had about 15 ladies that that logged on, and we were able to pray with them. In this time during quarantine and COVID, people are really going through, and we wanted y'all to know that we are here for you. We are here to support you in any way possible. So this is our prayer line right here. If you guys want to join us at 8:30, we are on there Monday through Friday at 6:30 a.m. Right there, you can join us. We believe that God gives us 24 hours in a day, so we give him 24 minutes. And then right here, again tonight at 8:30, you guys can join us. Also, if you guys want to donate to our causes, I want to make just this quick announcement. We were able to take an 18-wheeler. Let me bring y'all on here because I want y'all to rejoice God with me on this. We were able to take an 18-wheeler down to Lake Charles, and we were able to minister to the people who were victimized by Hurricane Laura. And y'all, they still don't have running water down there. They still don't even have electricity, running water. So we were able to come down there and bring them materials. Well, we're doing another drive on Friday, 630 Jackson Avenue. We want you guys to join us. We want you guys to join us and be there. If you want to give to that, you can give to our Cash App, $Epic NOLA, or you can take down this number and just text the dollar amount to 504-608-1116. That's the way that you can donate. If you want to be a part of that, you guys can go look on anything and any of our social media, Epic NOLA, and you can see what we're doing. We are literally helping the hurricane victims right now, and we want you guys to please, if you can, just be a part of that and be a part of what it is that we're doing in those areas. Okay. So those are a few of our announcements. So what I want to do is I want to talk to Pastor BJ first, and then I'm going to talk to Alicia, then I'm going to talk to Drea, and then we're going to jump off the line. So Pastor BJ, really quick, let the ladies know where they can find you and where they can continue to hear the wisdom. Because let me tell you, you were kind of a big hit tonight. I was looking at these comments and everybody was talking about how they loved your transparency and the wisdom that you gave. Where can they continue to hear that from you?
Okay, thank you, Lady Sky. Titus 2 Ministries every Sunday afternoon at 5:30 p.m. 5:30 p.m. You can come right to Facebook Live and we can fellowship together. Also, we have a prayer call every morning, Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. And the number is 605-313-6303. The code is 402-972. We'll be taking the needs of the people to God, and you can come on. You don't have to say a word. Amen. We'll pray for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Pastor BJ.
Text it. Amen. And we will be more than happy to accommodate you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pastor BJ. We love you so much.
You're welcome.
And of course, Pastor BJ is one of the ladies that's always on the line with us at 8:30 to pray with you. And so make sure that you guys join in. And guess what, you guys? I want to tell y'all something. Hey, Pastor BJ, bring the camera up a little bit, like to the front of your face like that. Like right up. Bring the camera. Just hold it up there real quick. So, guys, do we look alike? Do we look alike? Why? Because no, I don't look like the shade. I don't look like the window. No. This is my mother, people. This is my mother. This is my mother. So I'm so glad to have Pastor BJ on the line. Pastor BJ, could you repeat that phone number for me one more time? Because one of the ladies online just asked if you would repeat the information so they could join you. What's that number?
Yeah. With pleasure. The number is 605-313-6303. And after you dial that, you'll hear a very pleasant voice that says, please give me your code. And for you, the code would be 402-972.
All right, awesome. We just put that in the chat for you. For those of you who are asking, we just put that in the chat. Thank you, Drea. Drea put that in the chat as well so that you guys can get that. Please Pastor BJ, when are you on the line so that people can catch you? When are you on the line?
I'm on the line every morning, Monday through Friday, and again, I'm on Sundays. Titus 2 Ministries, Facebook Live, 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
All
Amen.
right.
Be more than happy to talk to you. You'll hear a lot of transparency in there. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Pastor BJ. We really, really appreciate you. And her number is up. So we ask that you guys would now love you too. And again, if you guys didn't know, Pastor BJ is my mother. So I'm so glad to have her on tonight. Thank you, Pastor BJ.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to bring on Alicia. Hey, Alicia, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Listen, I want you to tell the people really quick. We only really got a few minutes, but tell the people really quick about our connection.
Oh, well, geez. I mean, you've known me, I was 20, 19, 21. I'm 30. I'm 31 now, y'all. So she's known me for like 10 plus years. So since I was a kid, a baby, I would say, since I was learning that introspection. So she's seen some things. So
I love Alicia. Alicia has aplusmanagement.com. I actually put it up there. I want you guys to go and visit her website, especially if you're in need of any type of administrative services. She's like a virtual assistant. And so she can help you with anything that you need. How do I know? I know because just like she said, 10 plus years ago, it was longer than 10 years ago, but 11, 12 years ago, like she said, just a young lady, just a young, right into college. I think freshman into college or something like that. Yeah. I met Alicia and just our hearts connected. And Alicia actually met me when I was a young idealistic whippersnapper myself. And so Alicia was a person who God just connected us. And before she knew what a virtual assistant was, she was that for me.
Can I just, it's aplusmanagementnow.com.
Oh yeah, let's change that. aplusmanagementnow.com. Let's change that. So tell everybody a little bit about what you do just so they can get you real quick.
Yeah, sure. So I do virtual administration and project management, remote work from my home. So I help a lot of small businesses, a lot of minority women who are starting businesses, who have nonprofits. I do a lot of their back office work. So email management, social media. We work with different project management systems, and I keep everybody on task, and I make sure people meet their deadlines and they stay communicative with their clients. And I have the backs of small business owners. That's really my job. I help.
Yes. And one day I'm going to have another time where I have you on, Alicia, where I'm going to talk about the power of connection. I'm going to talk about the power of connection because Alicia is a person that in my life, I thank God for the connection that she and I have. Like I said, when I was young, idealistic, didn't really know what I was doing. All I had was a vision, and I just ran. And she was a person that ran with me. She believed in me and just ran with me. We all just went. That's all we did. Exactly. And we ran hard. And she helped me establish my first business, Sky Enterprises International. And she was in my life when I was traveling the world. I was going everywhere. Japan, Egypt, Poland, you name it. I was going everywhere, singing, doing everything. But guess what? Alicia was the one that made sure that I didn't forget anything.
Listen, so it's a blessing to be a part of your life. It is. Thank you for being my friend.
Oh yeah, I love you so much. You know that. You know how much I love you. So guys, that's Alicia. Make sure you go visit. Alicia, I love you. I'll have you back when we do the show on the power of connection. Kiss the kids for me and tell your husband thank you for letting you be away for a while.
Love you.
Good night. I love you too. And now we got the one and only Drea Marie. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So excited. Drea, got you on the line, baby girl. Listen, tell everybody about everything. Go.
Lord, it's so much. I see why
I
you
know, that's
saved
what
me
I said.
for last.
Wait, let me say
So,
this real quick though. Let me
okay.
say this. If you live in the New Orleans area, she does have a food company. So I want to say that because she is a gospel artist and she sings and does all that, but she also is an excellent cook. And her son have D&T Eats, and she'll tell you about that. But I wanted to kind of bring that out because, of course, she'll tell you all about her music and everything. But if you live in New Orleans or surrounding area and you want to order food from her, she's an excellent cook, and she even has some. She started a cooking show that you can also find on. If I'm not mistaken, you can find it on YouTube, but she'll tell you about that.
Yes. So, for hey, Miss Darlene. So for since you started with that D&T Eats, me and my son, we love to cook, and everybody's always commenting on our food and stuff. So we decided to go into business over this pandemic. Your gift will make room for you, and that's one of them. So you can inbox me to order anything on Drea Marie's page. But for as gospel recording artist Drea Marie, you can follow my music page at I am Drea Marie, or you can email me dreamariemusic@gmail.com for any type of booking concerning my music and author Drea Marie. You can order my book, Command Your Day on Purpose, Amazon.com. Or you can inbox me on any of my pages, the I am Drea Marie or Drea Marie, and I will send you an autograph copy and this cute little bookmark along with it if you get it straight from me. But
Hey, hold on. I want somebody, Drea, put your book up to your head like that. And we're going to hold there for 5 seconds. No, make it so we can see the book. Scoot up. Yeah. And I want somebody to screenshot this, and I want you to send it to me or Drea. Okay, one of our friends. Somebody do that really quick. All right, you ready?
Y'all got it?
Okay, that's fine. All right, go ahead.
So Monday through Friday for 7:30 a.m. If you go over to my music page, I am Drea Marie. You can tune in with me and my friends as I read one page per day for about 7 minutes. We're talking about that page and meditating on it, commanding our day to be whatever that word is for that day. So yeah, that's
Awesome.
it. Oh, the shirts. You guys can inbox me. It says living on purpose. It's a whole mood, and it has that whole in living color theme to it. Living on purpose. It's a whole mood, which basically means it's a lifestyle. It's, being happy, being your best self, living your best life. It's a whole mood.
Awesome.
Yep.
Hey, Lady Hughley, Pastor Hughley, she was on with us last week. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to her. Thank you so much, Drea, for being a part tonight. Listen, as I said, I just thank you guys. As this Women's Month, man, we have really been enjoying just the conversation. And this is what I would like you guys to do. Of course, our email address at the church is myeaglepoint@gmail.com. It's myeaglepoint@gmail.com. I'm going to try to put that up for you guys so that you guys can, let me put that up real quick. Myeagle, GLE, point@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you guys so that you guys can tell me what other topics that you guys want to talk about. We're actually thinking about continuing this ladies panel, this ladies conversation series, but we won't do it on Wednesdays. Of course, in the month of September with Epic Church, we are just taking the place of our normal Bible study, but we might continue to do this on just another day. And so there's the email address. I would love to hear from you personally. You can just put it to Lady Sky. There's only one other person that checks our emails, and it'll come straight to me. And so don't worry about if you decide you want to just tell me something, put in the subject for Lady Sky. They won't even open it. They'll just forward it directly to me. So I thank you so much for joining us. Let me know what else you guys want to talk about. And if you guys want us to continue with this, actually, if you want us to continue, I just want you to put yes in the comment area if you do want us to continue with the series, talking about all kinds of topics. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Okay, I see you. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Again, we're gonna go out with actually, this is the song that my son loves. And so we'll go out with this particular song. Again,
give him the
thank
glory.
you guys so much. Yes, that's his song. Thank you guys so much again and again. Thank you guys again and again. Brittany, love you. Shanique, I love you. Sabrina, love you. Sister Dolores, I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining us. And again, you guys, if you need prayer, join us tonight at 8:30, and we will be praying with you. This is Drea Marie, y'all. We come to give you the glory.
Y'all go download it.
All right, y'all. I love you, and good night.